Get on in here. I gotta do some adjusting.
Well, my sink is shining, but I'm not whining, I'm flying. I'm just a baby stepping in, I'm not obsessing, I'm flying. I've got my list of things to do, and I'm ready for action in my lace-up shoes. Well, I'm no minor, I'm just working smarter, I'm flying. Well, these piles of clutter could be blessing others, so I'm flying. And while I'm flinging, you can hear me singing, I'm flying. I help my friends and family, but with routines in place, I still have time for me. I can get things done while I'm having fun, 'cause I'm flying.
There comes the saxophone.
I have no need to sing the blues. Do you know the system? Have you heard the news? You can start today. I found a better way. I'm flying. Yes, I'm flying. Do, 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 do.
There we go. Thank you, everybody, for your compliments on my necklace. It's some kind of rock that Robert got me. He knows I like rocks. I have all kinds of rock necklaces. Anyway, got it for Valentine's Day one year. So, hey, it is Friday. It's the beginning of the weekend. It's Clean Out Our Cars Day. Our cars should be really clean because we haven't been in them. It's Clean Out Our Purses Day. It's also Clean Out our briefcases, which we're not using those either. So you get a pass on a lot of things today. But, you know, I bet you got a hot spot brewing on your kitchen counter. I bet you do. So over the last 24 hours, I've been listening with Mr. Adams, Scott Adams. Y'all know he does a Periscope. And last night, he started talking about the prevalence of vitamin D deficiencies. Now, you don't want to take medical advice from the Fly Lady, but you need to listen to this and do your own research, because this is what's the important part. They're finding that many of the people who have gotten sick with this virus have low vitamin D levels. Yep. And Leanne and I know from our research that vitamin D is essential in fighting off breast cancer. A lot of people who get breast cancer have low vitamin D levels. Yeah, Sister Patty and I have done tons of research on vitamin D too. And not D2, D3, but TOO. So folks, y'all got to do some research. And that's one of the reasons we put together this Core 4 Defense line of supplements that are made in this country, made in the USA, and calcium, magnesium, because that balances with D. It helps to balance everything. One doesn't work without the other. And I learned this from my File Baby's husband, who was a gerontologist. And he sees lots of older people with vitamin D deficiencies. And if they don't balance it with the calcium and the magnesium, they get heart palpitations. Imagine that. And Sister Patty was having heart palpitations. And I said something. They came to visit us at the fly shop many years ago. And he said, "Is she taking vitamin D?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "She needs the calcium and magnesium to go with it." So how cool is that? So check with your doctor. Get your vitamin D levels checked out. I looked online today, and I found a test that you can order online. And Leanne probably knows a company that does it too, where you can, spit in a tube or prick your finger. I don't know how they do it. But these core supplements are the main ones that my babies are deficient in. And we've seen it over and over and over. That when they get their levels checked, they have less. There's Jason. Hey! I hope I'm on the right channel. Anyway, Jason is a friend of mine in Kentucky. He's a weatherman. Yeah, he's a weatherman. He has a new job in Louisville. I keep up with him. He's also does science stuff. He does a lot of science stuff, and he is great for you homeschoolers. And those of you who've been thrown into homeschooling, go check out Jason's website. Jason, post a link to your website in here. You have permission to post a link to the website in here. But Jason, I met Jason, and he is from the neck of the woods that I grew up in, Western Kentucky, West Tennessee. He knows the whole area, but he's a weatherman for the television station that I grew up watching in Paducah, Kentucky. Now he's, with the virus and stuff, they've had a slowdown, and he's moved over to Louisville. But he's doing good. He's doing good, and I've been real proud of him, watching his career grow. So Jason, post a link to your website so all my homeschooling moms and those of us who have been forced into homeschooling can find you. Now, on another note, I got a complaint email this morning. Are y'all going to laugh with me here? Are you going to laugh with me here? She complained that I sent out too many emails. So I went in and I set her to announcements only, which she'll get much fewer emails, but she's still going to get all my emails because I send them to announcements. I think it's important. But I told her that if she did not want to change the way she was right now, that getting fewer emails wasn't going to help. It was not going to help her. That she needed to, get what I'm saying now. I didn't say this to her, but that she needs Fly Lady Immersion and getting our emails and reading some of them. Reading the subject lines. Getting in there and reading amusing and Ask Fly Lady questions. The habit of the month. What's our habit of the month? Who knows what our habit of the month is? Who knows what our habit of the month is? Who knows? Somebody put it in here. Our habit of the month for May is, drum roll please. Nobody said it. Nobody has said it yet. Our habit of the month is moving in. There we got. Billy Joe did it. Is moving in May. And to get vitamin D, you need to be moving outside in a sunbeam, and preferably around noontime sun. It's a great way to get direct sunlight that's not coming at an angle through everything. My nose is itching. Anyway, so getting our emails, it kind of gets in your head. And watching our videos and watching some of the videos that Justin posts and Liz posts, we're going to sort of change the way you think about things. And when we can change the clutter that's in here. This is where the body clutter is, right in our heads. When we can change that clutter, and when we can replace the negative thoughts, like, Fly Lady sends out way too many emails. I can't possibly be expected to read all those. You know, it takes you 5 minutes. 5 minutes it takes. So, in the time it takes you to send me an email complaining that I've sent out too many emails, you could have read them all for today. You could have done it. So, there you have it. We get in your head, and that's why this works. This works because it's Fly Lady immersion. We're in this, we're going to get it done, and we're going to change the way our houses look and feel. You can do this. Thanks for the stars. I don't know what they are, but people are sending me stars. That's kind of cool. I don't know how to check them or anything. I don't even know how to get stars. I had some things said, do you want to sign up for stars yesterday morning or day before yesterday morning? And I just did it, so I don't even know what it is. But thanks for the stars. I know I get to send hearts to Scott Adams. Yesterday morning I was on his show, and I was one of the first ones to log in because I'm waiting. I'm on ready waiting. And I sent him a super heart. And he said, thanks, Marla, for the super heart. And I was just like blown away. Yeah, I do. I get starstruck too, just like y'all do. Stars is money. I didn't know that. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, folks, you have to buy stars. And I don't even know how you buy stars. People buy the stars. Wow. That's it. I know I buy the super hearts. That's cute. Well, thank you. Doubly thank you for supporting Fly Lady. Yeah. So, getting your house in order. And, you know, it's the weekend. It is the weekend. Robert used to do a little weekend dance. He'd come in from court on a Friday afternoon, and he'd just click his fingers, and then he'd dance around, and so he'd probably kill me if he knew I was telling the story. But he doesn't dance, but he would do the weekend dance, and we would celebrate and figure out what we were going to do for the weekend. Maybe there was a festival somewhere we wanted to go to, or just little things to have fun on the weekend. Somebody just sent me 200 stars. Wow. I don't know what that is, but I'll go check it out after this is over with. So thank you, thank you, thank you. The weekend is a fun time to date night. Remember that relationships need to be nurtured. And once a week, we need to do something special. Now, my husband, he makes me coffee every morning, and that is special for me. He spoils me rotten, but see, this goes back a long way with us. He told me right after we got married, he said, honey, because I was notorious. I was notorious for having sinks, 2 sinks full of dirty dishes soaking overnight from dinner the night before. From dinner the night before. How crazy is that? And he said, honey, if you'll just leave one side of the sink open, I'll make you coffee. And guess what? He's made me coffee just about every single day. And if he has an appointment early in the morning, he will set my coffee up so I just have to turn it on, as he calls Plunk the Magic Twanger. It's something from cartoons when he was a kid. And it ends with Froggy. Plunk the Magic Twanger Froggy. Evidently, it was a local cartoon in North Carolina. But he makes me coffee. And then at night, he said, you know, I got a hankering for some fizz water. And I said, well, that would be really good. And I'm just having I get fizz water at night and coffee in the morning. And if I want anything else during that, I said, honey, could you please make me such and such? And he'll do it. Sometimes I put my teapot on and I have an automatic. If you don't have one of these automatic tea kettles that cuts off when it boils, you're missing out because you can never boil it dry. It cuts off when it hits the boiling temperature. And, you know, it's kind of fun. It's just kind of fun because I'll never miss out on can we clone Robert? Oh, I don't know. Mark may be Leanne's clone for Robert. Phil may be Patty's clone for Robert. But when a guy respects you and loves you and treats you like a princess, that's kind of special. That is really kind of special. He built, yeah, we got a fire. We don't have a fire going right now, but the fire is laid. And it's ready to put the match to. So I'm excited. I'm really excited about this weekend. It's going to be cold, but let's see. Today's the 8th. It's not a good planting day because we're on a full moon. But when you have a full moon, that means tomorrow, oh no, the 10th, 11th, and 12th, I can plant root crops. So I can plant onions and all kinds of stuff like that. Anyway, everybody, it's the weekend. Let's schedule our family fun day. Are you going to have pizza night? You know, what's for dinner? Do you know what's for dinner right now? Do you know what you're having for dinner tonight? This is a good time to start thinking about it. What is for dinner tonight? And having something, pull something out of the freezer to put in your crock pot tomorrow for dinner. And then Sunday is Mother's Day. Now, many of us don't have mothers, and Mother's Day, our mothers have passed away. But guess what? There's always somebody in your life who has been and will always be sort of a mother to you. So drop a little note. Thank them for being there for you. And if they're in heaven, say a blessing on them, you know, and bless the fact that they touched your life and changed you in the way they did. It's just, gratitude is the most important thing. And thanking God for the blessings that He has bestowed upon you is going to change everything. So Sunday is Mother's Day. And mothers, we all can mother ourselves. Yeah, we can. That's what flying's all about. If you don't take care of you, who will? So we have to take care of ourselves. And that's mothering. So let's bless our hearts and our homes. And with you getting the rest you need. With you taking care of you. With you taking your supplements. Yeah, take your supplements. And let's take care of our bodies, because they're our temple. They are the temple for the Holy Spirit in us. So let's take care of ourselves. And if we feel good, if we get enough sleep, we're not going to be irritable. And you know, an irritable mom is not a fun way to remember your mother. It's not. It is not a fun way to your children to remember you. So take care of you. And that is the biggest Mother's Day gift you can give to yourself, is you have to mother yourself. I know, I think about Leanne's mom. Leanne's mom loved daisies. And so after Leanne's mom passed a few years ago, you just can't send flowers. You need to send something sort of special. So I had a painting. I commissioned a painting from a friend of mine here in town. She does watercolors. And she painted a picture of daisies. And Leanne was probably one of the first paintings she hung when she got moved to Brevard. It's just one of these, you just have to remember the little things. So Leanne's mom loved daisies. she loved daisies. And so every once in a while I'll see a daisy come across my Facebook page and I'll send it to Leanne. So, but we can't be sad because our mothers have passed. We have to be glad that we had them in our lives. Whether they were good or bad, they made us who we are. I had a wonderful grandmother. Yep. I had a wonderful grandmother who blessed me every single day. And when it comes down to Mother's Day, I don't look at the bad. I am thankful for all the good and the bad and the ugly that happened in my life, because I wouldn't be here with who I was had I not survived all of the things that happened to us as children. So please be thankful for all of it, because we are where we are today because of those things. I love any kind of flowers. At Mother's Day, hold it just a second, I got something to show you. And I'm not tied down to a microphone cord. I got pictures. And maybe I'll walk out and Robert can show me where they are in the woods, because we have had as many as 200 of these in our garden, our yard. This is a pink lady slipper. You can't see the base of the lady slipper. It's a wild orchid. And this wild orchid grows in our forest. And one year we had as many as 200 of these plants blooming this orchid. And he said they were starting to pop up. And he sent me a picture of one the other day. But this is just a beautiful picture of pink lady slipper. And they have had, we do have yellow ones in North Carolina, in Appalachia. But I've never seen one in the wild. Never, ever. I've seen pink lady slippers in the wild. I've seen Jack in the Pulpits in the wild. Trillium, I have trillium in my yard. Wake robins. But pink lady slippers, my mother-in-law, Ella, she loved pink lady slippers. And we did our best to transplant one at her house down in Hickory. But Hickory gets too hot for them. But we had them here, and we got to show them to her. One year she came up for Mother's Day, and we took her out in the woods and showed them to her. So pink lady slippers are beautiful, and those are wildflowers. We have something called doll's eyes here too. They're little white berry with a red stem and dots on it. You never heard of that flower? Well, look it up. It's a beautiful flower. It's a wild orchid. And I love my roses. Y'all know that, but my roses don't grow well here. I would love to have a running rose bush of yellow roses, but they just don't do well here. They just don't like it. I've never seen a yellow lady slipper. So get outside. It's cold today, and it's going to get down to freezing tonight. So there's a little freeze warning going on, but it'll be okay. Plants will survive. And we'll get through this. And things are starting to open back up. People are being cautious. They're doing what they need to do. That precious salon owner in Dallas, she looks so familiar to me, because I think I may have gone to her salon once upon a time. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Michelle and I had to find a salon one time, and I'll never forget, there was a hairdresser there, and it was a huge salon. But I don't remember where it was. And this lady stood up. She said, I got people who need to feed their kids, you know? And so they were going back to work. People were sitting outside waiting to come in. My hairdresser does that. And keep my hairdressers, the lady that owns the salon where my hairdresser works, please keep Melanie in your thoughts and prayers. She's in the hospital. She's had a hole drilled in her head right here. I got her picture of her. So say your prayers. She's got, I don't know what's going on. Don't know all the details. But please say a prayer for Melanie. She's the owner of the salon where Tracy is. So we broke our quarantine on Wednesday. We went to Leanne and Mark's house. And we did it intentionally because I know that we have been safe. Robert wears mask when he goes out. And when I've gone to pick up food, I've worn a mask. But I don't usually have to get out of the car. They just bring it to me, you know. They just hand it to me. And we've stayed safe. We only have 7 cases in my county. 7. That's it. That's it. So I think it's time to get back to normal. My grandson is going off to camp. He's going to be working at a camp here in Transylvania County this summer. And he's low man on the totem pole, so if they don't get campers in, it probably won't be good. But he'll probably come to work and be packing your orders. Justin said, can Ethan work for us this summer if he doesn't get the camp job? So yeah, he may learn the fly lady business from the bottom up. And then, so keep everybody going back to work in your prayers too, because our salons aren't going to open back up until phase 2, which is probably 2 weeks from now. And let's just, let's get our vitamin D levels checked, and let's just take care of ourselves. Let's do this. And there are a lot of vitamin D videos on YouTube. If you YouTube vitamin D deficiencies and cancer, wow, check that out. Now, New Jersey's been a hot spot, even though it's called the Garden State. And you can get outside and get in the sunbeam and go for a hike and not be around people. We haven't had any deaths either. Half the counties in Texas have had no deaths. What they're seeing is that the virus is in nursing homes, prisons. God bless them. God bless them. Scott Adams was totally wrong today. Let me tell you. I know. He was talking about prisoners. You haven't heard of many deaths in prison from the coronavirus or the China virus, not Chinese virus, the China virus. Yeah, it came from China. And that's not racist, y'all. And if you complain about that being racist, then I will unsubscribe you and I will block you on here. But the virus came from China. All viruses pretty much come from China because they're sitting there playing with them. Now, he was talking about that prisoners have to be given good food. Wrong, wrong, wrong. They are fed carbs to the max. That it is just, the food is almost unable to be eaten. And Ben was in prison for 5 years eating this crappy food. And if it hadn't been for the commissary and him being able to buy tuna and chicken and these things, Ben lost 40 pounds on his own last January. They don't get enough sun. They can't get out in the sunbeams. So they've got to be vitamin D deficient. Yes, prisoners get awful food. This is one thing Scott Adams was totally wrong about. I saw what their menus were. I even wrote the state nutritionist complaining about the food they were getting. Because my nephew had stage 4 cancer, and I think he got it because his vitamin D levels were down. I couldn't even send him any vitamin D to get his vitamin D levels up. They wouldn't let me send him anything. They get terrible food. So this is one thing that Scott is not correct on. And because I know for a fact, I know, I've seen their menus. I've complained to the state nutritionist. They say it's good food because it meets all the daily requirements. But if it hadn't been for him working and making a little money and me sending him some stuff, he would have he would have died in there. And finally when he had the surgery that removed part of his gut, that's when he got promotion while he was in the hospital in Nashville with that. What's a sample menu? It's just mystery meat and carbs, potatoes, and they don't even get pasta. I mean, it's canned green beans. I taught Ben how to make a green bean salad that he could stand, you know. He could get little pouches of green beans. And he needed something green. They don't get anything green. They don't get salads. They get very little. I told him to eat breakfast, eat eggs, but they rarely had eggs. Well, you know, everybody's experience is different. So I understand Scott may not have known anybody that's ever been in prison. But I have. And Allison, I like what you said. Dead food. It's not living food. It's not good food. Good for you food. Leanne and I were looking at the menus together. We didn't know how we were going to get him well. But finally he got out of prison and we could feed him properly. No, rarely on Sundays they might get eggs. That's it. It's awful. Awful. Now, I've known some jails where local people cooked for the jails. But it's small counties. Just small counties. County I grew up in, they had a local person that cooked for the people in jail. And they had a cook there in the prison. In our prison, in our county jail here, there's a kitchen and there's somebody that cooks. I am not racist. No, I'm not racist. And, I am not racist. I want people to all be treated right. Yeah. Somebody was complaining about corporations getting big bucks. And I just looked at them the other day and I said, you know, corporations, they have people that work for them. And mainly in these hotels, they're Hispanic ladies cleaning up these rooms. Yep, they're Hispanics. And come to find out, the majority of the people who've lost jobs in this country are Hispanic. So this is just really awful. I'm ready for everybody to get back to work and do what we need to do to keep safe at the same time. Everything we learned in kindergarten. Keep your hands to yourself, wash your hands, and drink your water. Yep, these are things we learned in kindergarten. It'll keep us safe. Well, folks, I'm going to get off of here. Got stuff to do. I've given you sort of a sneak peek into the rest of the weekend. Let's have some fun this weekend. Let's get outside. Even it might be cold. We can bundle up. And we can do this. We can do this. And we're going to be better off for it. You know, the flu hits us every year. Just the plain old flu. I mean, I got a flu shot last December because I didn't want to get Ben sick. And I usually get a flu shot as a anniversary gift for Robert. And our anniversary is in November 30th. And so I got the flu shot. And we have thousands of people who die with the regular flu every year. Every single year. The flu, they don't ever know what the flu strain is going to be. There's this thing, I've been writing about this for 20 years, y'all. I've done the research on it. They have this widespread from 60 to 100,000 people are going to die from the flu this year. That's what they say on the CDC website. Well, now they're not even counting any of the people who die with the flu as having died with the flu. They're all being counted as coronavirus victims, COVID-19. I hate that name, just so you know. I hate it. here. Hey, everybody. I don't know what I've done, but things have messed up. Let me see. I don't want to exit though. I'm trying to get it straightened out, the phone. Let's see if we can do this. It's not looking at me. Let's rotate the phone this way. It doesn't. I'm sorry I'm making y'all sick. The phone is broke. Uh-oh, y'all. I'm going to have to sign off. I love you all. I wish I could wave at you. I don't know what's going on. I'll see you at 3 o'clock if I can get this phone fixed. It fell off the stand and hit the floor. It's a brand new phone too, but it was in a case this time. See you later. Bye. All you see is my necklace.